working too. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Saturday. My name is Nathan Goheen, and joining me today is Anne Marie. My friend Joseph Corbett suggested I have people in the video with me, so
now I know why I'm here. Well, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in here and sitting down and grabbing a microphone.
Yeah. You're welcome.
As always, if anybody's got any questions or comments or whatever, just drop them in the chat. And let's jump right in. This past week, I've been working really hard getting this full moon piece ready for the next full moon. And as I was working, I was like really working a lot, right? And after every single day that I was working on it, I would be frustrated that it wasn't finished. And there was no logical reason for it to be finished. It's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of time, but I was still frustrated. And it made me remember something that I picked up in yoga, and that was to be comfortable in the discomfort, right? To be able to find comfort, when things aren't going well. Hi, Maria. Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Maria.
So yeah, just talking about remaining comfortable in the discomfort, because life is always going to be uncomfortable. Parts of life are. And if you try to shy away from it, if you try to avoid it, basically what you're doing is you're avoiding life. You won't have any meaningful experiences, positive. When you get rid of the negative, you're also going to get rid of the positive. So the trick isn't to avoid life and avoid negative experiences. It's to get to where you're just okay being uncomfortable in the discomfort. Do you have anything that you want to say about that?
Yeah. As you're speaking, I'm kind of thinking about the last 2.5 years. I think it's been a global kind of effort to teach us how to be comfortable in discomfort and not to run away from the negative aspects of life, but to face them the best that we can. Not necessarily having to overcome them or to even acknowledge them in the sense that you're constantly in the whirlwind of them, but just to know that they're there. And because you know that they're there, you can then focus on aspects of your life that are working for you. And so you don't always have to focus on the negative or the fear. And I think the last 2.5 years have been teaching humanity how to be comfortable in the discomfort for those of us who haven't experienced it in quite some time.
That's an interesting point. It's kind of weird because you get uncomfortable and then you get used to it.
And that's why you have to kind of look that I don't think you get comfortable. I think you start to, if you are aware of it, you start to focus on the positive aspects of your life and the discomfort doesn't get so bad. Maybe you are saying the same thing, but slightly differently.
Yeah, maybe. I like that though. Focus on what's positive. That's a good part to remaining comfortable in the discomfort.
Yeah. And you're not ignoring the discomfort. I think I want to point that out. You're not like in la la land or extreme positivity where you don't know bad things are happening around you and in the world. You acknowledge it, but with that acknowledgement, you say, hey, these are the things that are going well in my life, in my bubble, as well as in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good point. You definitely have to acknowledge that that it's there, that the discomfort is there.
Yeah. And when you were talking about your new moon pieces, your full moon pieces, I just automatically thought about like making sure people acknowledging how helpful that's been for me, because we live together and I hear them, and they're always a source of enjoyment for me and contemplation. So if you guys haven't checked those out, please visit his Instagram and his Bandcamp, because those have been helpful with regards to kind of getting me in a meditative state and getting me to kind of think outside of what's happening in my environment, because that's important. Sometimes you just have to, I'm going to say the word escape, but I don't mean it in the way that we've been taught escapement means, but to escape from your environment or to be in a space of peace if your environment is not peaceful at the moment.
That actually kind of segues into the next point kind of good, in that you need a break. You need a break from your environment, right? Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the mention of the music. Anne-Marie does a lot of the artwork for the releases. But a break is important. Whatever that may manifest for you. Like when I was on trying to get this piece together, I throughout the week I was just like, gosh, I really need to learn how to take breaks, right? So I don't burn out. And it seems like a thing that we all know and we all hear, but it was kind of like awakening for me, because I realized that this was something that I needed to learn about myself. I need to learn about when I'm productive, how long I'm productive for before I need to take a break. And like I said, it's one of those things you got to learn about yourself. And if you don't learn how to do that, you're going to hold yourself back. Right? Now, this is, maybe going beyond just the singular instance of learning how to take breaks, but this is what people mean when they say I'm my own worst enemy. They're their own worst enemy because they don't know how to change their behavior and to control themselves. And if you don't have control of your own actions, how can you affect something that's outside of yourself? Right? And the good news is that this is a human thing. Everybody has to deal with this. So we're all connected and we're all going through it at some point and in some way. And it's kind of like walking or talking. Everybody just learns it. We've all got our own individual lessons and we're all here to learn them, but we all have lessons. And you may not see somebody's lesson or their struggles, but it's still there. And I think that kind of the further the more experience, the more wisdom you progress, the more experience and the wisdom you get, and as you progress in life, your struggles may become less visible to other people, right? Like if you see like a little kid having a temper tantrum, you're like, okay, that kid wants candy or wants to go to the playground or something. You can understand that kid's struggle. You see it. It's very visible. You hear it. But a struggle from like a grandma, you don't really witness too much, right? So I don't know. That was just something that kind of caught my attention, caught my interest. But long story long, learn when you need to take breaks and learn how you need to take breaks. You got any?
Yeah. As you were talking about that, I'm going to circle back to when you were talking about control. I think control is taken for granted, because I feel like in society we talk about losing control, just being limitless and doing all these things that we tend to put down control. And I think control to me is, in my head, a form of order. And order and chaos are a beautiful relationship that has to be managed in a very balanced way. And it's okay for the pendulum to swing in extremes, but it should always come back to center. And I think if we did not have control/order, we would constantly be in chaos. And if we didn't have order, if we didn't have chaos, we would constantly be in order. And chaos to me is an opportunity for creative evolution. And order is cementing that creative evolution and bringing it out into the reality. So that's why it's important to be able to have a level of self-control as an individual and as a society. We work with each other to balance those aspects of ourselves because they exist within all of us, and not to go into extremes for too long that we lose the connection of supporting and growth and love and wisdom that we can share with each other. And I think in music, that's super important, because if you're constantly following the same rhythm, then, and all musicians are doing the same thing, then where do you have the opportunity for a musician to be creative and to bring something new to the table and to have open dialogue about, hey, this is something I never thought about. We could do it this way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
And not just music, but in all genres. I think architect, art, work environment, even if you work in a corporate environment, sometimes you need creative new ideas to bring the business forward into another level.
You need the chaos to
and then the chaos can be innovative, right? Right now we are in a state of chaos or flux, and it's made a lot of businesses become more innovative. It's made individuals become more innovative of how they manage their lives, how can they be more creative if they can't move around, and so it's good that we are here at this moment because we have technology to help us to do that.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Live streams. Live streams.
Yeah. So I think you bring up some good points.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Not really. Not that I can think of. I know people's time, they want their time. So I'm good. The only thing I would want to finish off with is love and wisdom. Just remember that. Whatever happens, whatever's coming up, remember the love and wisdom that shines within all of us, that directs us from a space that we can't even always acknowledge, but it exists within us. And if you can see the world through that perspective, it doesn't matter what's going on around you, you'll always find a way to be centered.
Nice. Focus on the love and wisdom. Focus on what is comfortable for you when everything else is uncomfortable. Focus on what's working. Anne Marie, you can find her on YouTube. Her handle is Pashu Poet. I wrote it in the description. And also, you can go to her website, exploringsoul.com. She's got lots of cool stuff up there, lots of cool spiritual stuff, cool art stuff. Go check it out. Go check out her YouTube page. As always, if anybody wants to do some private instruction with me, let me know. I offer money back guarantee if you aren't satisfied with the lessons. Whatever you want to learn. If you want to learn about music theory, if you want to learn about music production, just let me know. And tune in next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Maria, thanks for tuning in. It's good to see the emojis. And everybody be good out there. Everybody be nice. Everybody be peaceful. Like Anne Marie said, live in love and wisdom and treat other people that way.
Yeah, right. That's a great goodbye. And I just want to say, money back guarantee. This is the way we're moving forward with how people offer services. It doesn't just have to be about profit. We can share advancement and profit with each other. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Here's your money back. It doesn't have to be like this big thing. So I think that's a great way to move forward with how we interact with each other in a business or exchange of goods way.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on here.